Hi, listeners. This is Gina Versa. I'm here at Robo Toy Fest. We have a very special guest. I'm talking to François Chau. How you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
How has it been just going back to conventions? The past year has been a little tough.
Yeah, it's been a little tough. I think I've done a couple other ones since during the pandemic, and a little later, of course. And it's been okay. Everybody's taking all the precautions that needs to be taken as much as we can. We all got our mask on. We got, hopefully most of the people are vaxxed, and I think it's too bad that it has to be this way, but we adapt. Yeah.
So just going right into it, I just wanted to ask you a few questions on a movie probably our listeners and fans have watched, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. You were famously Shredder. Can you talk a little bit about taking that role?
Okay, now, when I think about it, it's already been 30 years, right? So it's a long time. When I did it, of course, when you do that, you don't think, oh, this is going to be, whatever it turns out to be. It was fun. I had read the comics before that, and I was a big fan of the Turtles. My friend played the Shredder in the first movie, and then I played the Shredder in the second movie. And it was a blast. It was great making the movie, and what to say? Only regret I had was in the second movie, Shredder didn't get to do too much physical stuff.
Yeah.
He was sort of more like just kind of ordering people around.
Right.
So,
He bosses Toka and Reza around a lot.
Yeah, he bosses everybody around instead of doing it himself. So, I was kind of looking forward to doing some of the action stuff, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I was going to go into that. Just kind of the two movies are great, but they have in the second one there's a tonal shift where it's a little more lighthearted.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit, making Shredder a little more? He kind of gets thrown into some comedic roles, and like Toka and Reza see him as a motherly figure. Yeah.
I think when I saw the first movie, I thought, wow, they did a good job of, making this live action come to life. But I heard that one of the things was that, especially for little kids, it was a little too, dark or a little too, maybe violent. So I think they got the message that they're going to tone it down. So the second one, obviously, is a little more, it's almost like a, kids show.
Yeah.
It's a lot more campy. It's a lot more lighthearted, and I think it worked out. People tell me all the time, I love that second movie because it's so, I feel kind of old because a lot of guys come up to me and say, I grew up watching this movie, and I think the shift was, I don't know if it made it better, but it was good.
Yeah, I think like they're both their own unique thing, and they both work because I think like the Turtles, they could be dark and then they could also be comedic.
Yeah.
And I think like Shredder is pretty unique in that film too. So
yeah, it's like I say, Shredder was more like they gave the Shredder this big cape in the second movie, right?
Yeah, it's very comic booky. Yeah.
Yeah, and all you did, it's like it took me a while to get used to using this big cape and making it work as I was walking around and without kind of tripping over and stuff like that.
Yeah, that seems like an interesting fitting.
Yeah. So it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I guess kind of first because your character, he's in a lot of Dharma initiation films,
right.
But the centers and all the little kind of rooms really lend itself to quarantine. Is there any Dharma facility that'd be ideal to quarantine at?
Well, I guess the hatch would be. I don't know if you want to spend a couple years in that hatch by yourself, punching in those numbers. But I think you'd be pretty safe in terms of being quarantined then.
Yeah.
All the other stations, and I can't even remember all of them now. They all have their own different functions.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, you're on the island, so I guess that's pretty much that's your bubble right there, right?
Yeah. And is there any like was there any orientation film that was because they're all so neat and they're all like so retro and everything. Is there anyone that was the coolest to film or anything?
I like the, of course, everybody familiar with the ones where I'm in the lab and I had the white lab coat on and I'm more of a doctor. The second one, and then of course, well, the different names. I kind of like the second one where it looked like I was in a turtleneck and just like a sports coat, but it was very like almost 70s kind of looking, feel to it. That was kind of fun. It was different. That was the first time I had filmed the other orientation films.
Right.
Then I came back. They called me and said, hey, come back and we're going to do another one. And I came in and they gave me the script and I'm looking at it and I'm going, wait a minute, what? That's not me. That's not my name. What's going on here? And they said, no, that's you. You just have a different name and just go with it. And I said, well, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, those were always as a fan because I watched it growing up. Those were always little like neat things to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just wrapping up here, have you just looking back on the show, did you rewatch any of the episodes? Have you rewatched any episodes, or were you a fan yourself?
I have to confess, I did not watch the show in the beginning.
Okay.
The first couple of seasons, I had watched the pilot. I thought, oh, great show, but then I kind of lost track. And then once I got the gig as Dr. Chang and I started doing it, a lot of fans came up and started asking me a lot of questions about, hey, what did this mean and what did this mean? And I was like, geez, I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh man, I felt kind of bad. So I thought, I better watch it. At least I sort of know what I'm talking about when people ask me stuff. But then once I started watching it, the writing was amazing. It really, you get caught up. You meet all these characters and you get caught up in all the stuff. Because when you think about it, it's a bunch of people stuck on the island. So you go, well, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Right? But no, the writers, the producers came up with great stories and great shows with the characters. So yeah, I watch it. I think it's better now watching it when you can stream it like a couple episodes at a time.
Yeah.
At least. Because when it was just weekly, I would watch it, and then the next week I would kind of like, I kind of forget what happened. And I'd have to look at the recap, right?
The recaps were very helpful.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, I love this show. Like, honestly,
So, it was a really memorable character. And any projects coming up you'd like to promote or anything?
I mean, if you guys watch TV, I'll show up sooner or later. I think the latest one I did a couple months ago, I filmed an episode of, there's a reboot of Fantasy Island that's coming on, I think in the fall. And I've done a couple of
Thank you so much.
video games.
Okay.
The one that just came out a few months ago was called Ghosts of Tsushima.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
Right.
played it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still waiting for my PS5.
Oh no, so PS5. There are some ways to get it, but it's very difficult.
Oh yeah, it's like what's the deal? You got to know somebody, I guess, and even then, it's So I haven't played the game yet, but I hear I've seen scenes of it, and it looks amazingly. It's like
No, definitely. After the interview, I'll have to give you some tips on getting the PS5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But for any listeners, where can people find you at for social media or anything?
I'm not a big social media guy. I'm on Twitter and Facebook, and I think it's pretty much just François Chau.
Got it. Well, thank you for joining us today. It's been really great, and you know,
Thank you for having me. This is great.
cool. Thanks.
All right. Yeah.